Now, happy teachers must master three things. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the secrets, the three things that every happy teacher has to master. This is part two of that segment about the 8 key strategies to not quit teaching, because this is the Do Not Quit Teaching channel. I am Dr. Jordan Smith, and I'm here to help you not to quit teaching. But today, I got something special for you. So, I have been enjoying teaching because I learned to master 3 secrets of teaching. When I was going to school to get my teaching degree, I'd already had my bachelor's in mathematics, but I lost my mind at the age of 50 to become a teacher. Then I decided I was going to teach math, so I needed to go to school to go ahead and get my master's, because it was up under that No Child Left Behind. So anyway, but when I was going to school, they taught me many things. There were lots of things needed to know, and some things I had to know in order to get my master's, but none of it was pointed out to me explicitly. I mean, like how to do a math problem step by step. I mean, what about the 10 steps to teaching that just laid it out? And then when I became a teacher and I first went to that first school district, which I'm still at 18 years later, they had us going through a teaching indoctrination plan. And you know what? All of that good stuff and information they gave me, they still explicitly did not teach me about these 3 secrets. So it's because of these 3 key things that I learned to master. And everyone that wants to be a happy teacher needs to master these strategies. If you don't, you are doomed to be unhappy in your teaching job. And you're going to quit teaching and you never make it to tenure. Now, why is tenure? I heard about that watching movies and stuff, here and there before I became a teacher. But teaching is one of those only professions that I know of that it'll take you 4 years to become tenured, and then 1 more year, which means 5 years to be vested in your retirement. Wow. 4 years to become tenured, and then 5 years to be invested in your retirement. Yeah, that's right. You can become a teacher at 50, keep your nose straight and everything else, and 5 years later, you can retire. You can still get a payment for the rest of your life. It's not as much money as it is when you work longer, but you still can get that. So being a teacher is a good job, even for those teachers that wind up quitting. I sure hope you didn't quit before you were tenured, fool. No. So I spent 20 years in the Marine Corps as a Marine officer. And outward respect from those of a lesser rank came easy in the Corps. It was yes, sir, no, sir, 2 bags full. If my students in high school were Marines, then they would learn, because they're going to do whatever I instructed them to do, as long as it wasn't violating the code of conduct. That's the code of conduct. That's for all of our American fighting men and women. Unfortunately, my high school students were not young Marines. These 3 strategies that I'm going to discuss in the video are like the code of conduct for veterans. So it's a code of conduct, which means it's a code, which is rules, which means tells you how to conduct yourself. But it's not just you. It's how I should behave. It's how my students should behave. And what my parents are going to be so happy to do, and be happy that I am their child's teacher. So I quickly discovered when I first became a teacher that today's students were not like my classmates when I went to school. There wasn't no computers or cell phones. They didn't exist. And I went to primary and secondary school. Now, there were no 1,000 plus TV channels or cable TV or cell phones. All good little kids were back at home when the street lights came on. But for happy teachers, the challenges are different today in 2022. But the 3 secrets have always been able to pass that test of time. So what are these three things that happy teachers master, learn to do well to keep teaching? So I'm going to tell you about those three secrets. Are you listening? You may want to get a piece of paper and pencil because I'm going to give you the code in order to be happy as a teacher. Okay, I'm not going to go over in detail. I'm going to tell you what these are. I'm going to show you how you can get started. Today is July 31st, 2022. I am on the eve of a new school year because I report back to work. I am well rested and I am motivated and ready to do my 19th year. Probably do 2 more. Yeah, I'm getting close to 70, but I'm feeling good. So let's go ahead and get it. Now I'm going to tell you about these 3 secrets because see, when I was going to school, not my master's, not even my doctorates and everything else, talked about these things specifically. They didn't show you how to do them, but I'm going to give you my side of it. Let's see if you put this work. This be the best 10-15 minute video you have ever watched. Every teacher needs to watch this. It's going to get you motivated back and understand why you became a teacher again. Hey, can you tell? I'm excited. Let's get down to number 1. 3 secrets, things you got to master. Number 1 is classroom management. Yeah, I know that you may have heard of that, some of the teachers, but hey, you probably agree. Your heads are going up and down. Yeah, you're right, Doc. You're right. You need to have a standard operating procedure. These are the rules of the road. Your kids need to understand from the very first time when they walk to your classroom door that you're in charge, but it's a welcome place for them to come in and you got their back to help them succeed. And that's your classroom management. That's your rules of the road from the time. My students in my classroom, I tell you what, in the very first 3, 4, 5 years, I couldn't go anywhere out of my classroom because I was the only one that could actually handle them. I took over a classroom as a freshman algebra class, where the last teacher had a shoe thrown at him from a student. A shoe. I was the 3rd teacher. These kids were bad. They had 3 teachers before me. I came in January. You know what? I was the last teacher that those kids had. But I sucked at classroom management. I really did. I mean, the things that I do now makes it so much easier. I was stressful. I had to think twice about getting up after the weekend and going into that classroom because I know all the knuckleheads were there. So classroom management, you got to get it done. Okay. If you have one that makes sense, is working, then good. I tell you how you know that your classroom management is working. I teach in an alternative school as a math teacher where all students come to me and they have no credits. Yeah, but then they come to me in a year and a half. They're supposed to do what they hadn't done in 2.5 years and earn their credits. And I'm very good at what I do because the vast majority of them seniors, they're done with their math in January, 6 months early. Well, how do I do that? Well, part of that is my classroom management that gets them going. How good is my classroom management? In the last 5 years, after executing my classroom management program, I have not had a single bad report from any substitute. That means that my students perform and do just as well. Matter of fact, sometimes they do better when I'm out of the class. How in the heck is that possible? That's the Dr. Smith classroom management. Did I do it all on my own? No. You know where I got it? Most of the things I stole from. I stole it in a good way. I went to look at a veteran teacher and saw how they were going home early and they were doing things that I wish I could do as a teacher, and always said I couldn't do it. Guess what? I'll go ahead and talk to a veteran teacher. I am a WAS accreditation inspector. And why do I do that? Because I get to chance to go visit other schools to see how they're working and go visit every year other math teachers in other school districts to see what they're doing better than me. And I copycat it, steal it. Hey, I ain't proud. I'm happy. I'm a happy teacher. That's what I do. So number 1, classroom management. You got to have rules on how to do that. What are some of the things that you can do in classroom management? I'll tell you some of the things that I do. Okay, one, I always hang out in my classroom before school. My classroom is open. It's a safe environment for my students to come in because I build that relationship with them. Number two, when that bells ring, I'm outside the door. I used to see that all the time. I said, why are you out there greeting those kids? I need to greet them because I get a spot check. See, I can tell if their head's down. I can tell if they got scars on their face or their hands. I know. I give them a fist bump and everything. I ask them how their weekend was, how they doing and everything, how many credits. I just joke around with them, get a smile on their face before they come in my classroom. They have the agenda. When they sit down there, up on my screen, up on my board, is their learning intention and their success criteria. They know exactly what they're supposed to be learning in my class that day, and they know exactly how to know whether or not they got it or not. And also is the plan that tells them if they didn't get it, what they got to do to get it. Next, I have assigned seats. In the very beginning of teaching, some teachers had it and I got rid of it. I said, no, I need to know my students. But you know what? Organization does work. And so, yes, I do. Because that also helps my substitutes. When I go away, they know who's sitting in each seat. So they can give me that bad report. But I haven't gotten a bad report in 5-6 years. So obviously, that must be part of it. Quiet at the bell. My students are in their seats ready to work when that bell goes off. And I may just have to do this. They know what it is. It's solid. I didn't have to say a thing. Okay. So I always keep my students moving, but most important, I keep the topic relevant. If I'm going to teach math, it's not to teach math so that they can have to learn it, have to get credits. We know that. I have to make it engaging and fun. And how do I do that? I do that because I make it relevant. I bring my life experience about how I use math. There are a lot of things I did this summer, and I'm going to share that experience with my kids. It's going to make it fun, engaging. It's going to save them money because they ain't got to do the same stupid things I did. Okay? But it's engaging and relevant. Oh, the big why. They said, why do I need to learn this math? You need to learn this math so you can use it to save yourself money, to make you happy, or even better yet, make someone that you love very happy. That's why you need to learn math. That's why I'm good at it. Yeah, I make some people happy besides myself. Next thing, I always do this. Something that was in the Marine Corps, but this is very important. So please listen on this in its classroom management. I praise in public and I criticize in private. I'm going to say it again. I praise in public and I criticize in private. If I got something negative to say from a student, I'm not going to put them on blast in front of everybody. No, I ain't going to do that. If I have a student that's having a bad day, one, I get an idea of it before they come in my classroom. And sometimes I can divert it so it's, maybe they just need to chill. There's things going on. I can look at her face. I can ask the questions. Okay? So, praise in public, criticize in private. And the next, the other thing I always do is I follow up. Okay? That's my classroom management program. Next, number 2, learning contract. Now, a learning contract goes beyond a syllabus. Now, let me explain the difference. See, a syllabus is something that you give to your students. And I used to do that. Every year, admin would ask me to give a syllabus. I had to turn in a copy of my syllabus when I did my grade report. And whereas the syllabus says, this is Math 1, these are the things that you're going to learn. This is how you earn credits. In other words, this is how you earn the grade. And you have to get this many points, Okay, they've already heard that. I got kids that come to my class and haven't gotten any math credits. They haven't been successful in 2.5 years. Okay? The thing is, a lot of it is that it's habits and things that they don't have. The learning contract makes sure that they're going to be productive. Okay? Every hour is important. They need to be productive. And what it does, it forces me to identify and find out for that student what are their goals. Do they just want to get 5 credits and out the door? Do they want to graduate from high school? Do they want to go to college? Do they want to be an A through G student? Or are they doing this because their mama is having them to do that? All those different things, whatever it is. But the learning contract forces me to do that. And then I identify in writing what I'm going to do to help support that kid in order to accomplish their goal. What the student should be doing, and I'm going to give them some guidance and directions of what they need to do to accomplish their goals. And also for the parents as to what they can do at home to support their learning and our situation here, our communications. We're a team. We're a team. Let me make sure you get that. You got parents who's watching. You need to understand it's a team. If you piss off a teacher and alienate that teacher, you're going to hurt your child. Because your child's not going to be happy, your teacher's not going to be happy, and eventually you're not going to be happy because they're not going to graduate. So get over it. All right. Number 3. So I've already said classroom management, your rules on the road of how everything is being done. It has a specific reason for that. Okay. That classroom management. Your learning contract. It's an agreement between the teacher, student, and parent. It is the rules for learning. It's the rules for learning of exactly how it's going to be done. If they do their work, they get praised. If they don't, there's a part of a system. And that gets to number 3. Number 3 are the key secrets that you must master as a teacher to be happy. I mean, very happy. Do I look like I'm happy? Hey, yeah, I am happy. I'm a happy teacher. Can't wait. So, number 3, you need to establish communication protocols. Those are procedures. In other words, there's a rules for communicate. In other words, how do your students communicate with you? How do you communicate with parents? Okay? How do you keep them informed? So the communication protocols or procedures are rules for communicating with the students and parents to keep them informed about their students' progress and also how to help them accomplish their personal goals. It's planned frequent communications for the school year. Then this goes beyond back to school night in October and open house, which is in April. If you only communicate in October and April, no. Don't even think about coming to a parent that's in October, which is almost like 10 weeks in school, and that Johnny was tardy 35 times. What's up with that? They need to know what's going on. Okay? So, let me explain a little bit more detail. I'm going to give you little hints. First things first. 2022, this is the year of technology. Guess what? Don't expect to get a call from somebody. You're going to call them on a landline phone or even on their cell phone, and you're going to leave a voice message. Tell you what, ain't nobody answering you. I know, because you send me a voice message on my cell phone. I'm going to get round to the end. But on the other hand, you send me a text, I'm going to see it. And then with today's technology, if I send you a text, I know that it was delivered. I know that you opened it up. And I know if you read it or not. Okay, so SMS text. But if they not responding to that, yeah, I will pick up and call on a landline phone, okay, after hours, or maybe sometimes I have to do it on Saturday. But I don't give people my telephone. See, I use something called a Remind system. That's remind.com. And I do that because I can call my parents or my students anytime, 24/7, and they never get my telephone number. Yeah, you hear that? They don't get my telephone number, but I can talk to them anytime. I get messages, text messages from students that's working at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, am I answering at 2, 3 o'clock? Oh, heck no. But I got that text message when I get up and about. Guess what? I answer it. So, communication plan, SMS text, positive report to parents in the first quarter. Check this out. This is good. Okay. I make an effort to call every single parent or guardian for all of my students in the first quarter. And I want to have something positive to say. And the reason I do that, and check this out, especially now since I'm a doctor. Yeah, I earned it, but I need that doctor in front of me because of health. Because I go ahead and call, hey, this is Dr. Smith calling from Mountain View. And they say, and I can feel the tension and stress. I said, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Don't worry. This is a good call. And we just laugh and laugh and chat. Yeah, I know. You never heard about this, having a good call from a teacher. Yeah, well, I'm different, so I'm just letting you know. I'm just so glad that your child is in my class. And I said, I'm so glad Bobby's in my classroom. I know he struggled with math previously and everything else, but I'm very good with helping kids learn math. And so if we can work together and everything else, I would like to continue these positive phone calls. So, but the majority of the time, and then I'm going to send it to you via text. So that way you don't have to disturb you at work, but just go ahead and shoot me back a little message back on there. Okay. So I'm going to call it. Now, I do this to all of my students. Some of them, for the most part, it's easy for me to pick out something positive for them. Okay. Others, I have to dig deep. You know, everybody, every year I have this student that's in my class that I wish he wouldn't get up and come to my classroom because he's a pain in the you know what. But you know what? I will find something positive about that student. And I'm going to make that one my first one I call. Because when I call and give a good news, when he comes home, he's going to find out that Dr. Smith called and said how such a good lad he was. And now the parents got that good call. Do you think that he's going to allow me to call when he messes up? Oh, heck no. I've already knocked it out the park. Johnny ain't going nowhere because he's loving those calls from old Dr. Smith. Yes, he is. All right. So next, I do weekly progress reports. So my parents get an update on exactly how my students are doing weekly. And if my students pass a course in my environment, they can pass a course during the week, normally about week 9 to 10. Those start coming out. But they got a B or higher, I'm definitely calling. And especially if I got a student that's always had F's, which a lot of my students are, I'm going to call the parent and tell them, glory, hallelujah. I know Bobby, oh my, I can't believe it. Bobby got a B on that course. You know what? I think he can do an A. What do you think, Miss Jones? You think Bobby can actually get an A? You know what? I think too. I got faith. So I tell you what, we're going to work real hard to keep him motivated and everything. How do you like that? Well, how's things at home and everything else with the family? How's the job? How the other kids doing? Okay, if you need any help, then you just go ahead and give me a call. Send me a text message. I don't care what time it is, but I ain't going to answer it if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. But you send it to me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You have a great weekend. You have a good day, Miss Jones. Bye-bye. Yeah. And also the other thing I use, there's sometimes when my students get in trouble at home because they did something they weren't supposed to do and they need to get out of jail. So I will open this up and let the kids. Now, if it's something that you need, so then for me to give a call, I'll be glad to give you a call as long as you demonstrate some positive action in my classroom and I'll lay it out exactly what they got to do. And when they do it, I'll be picking up their phone and calling because you know what? I got them. Yes, I mean, we're a team now. They ain't going to piss me off. They ain't going to piss me off. This is a good thing. I become a happy teacher when I make those calls. I tell you what, this is the one key thing. You may think it takes time, but I tell you what, the time that you take to make these phone calls to parents is going to make you a happy teacher. So today we talked about 3 things, the 3 secrets of what you have to master to be a very happy teacher. Keep your students happy and keep your parents happy. And these 3 tasks need to be aligned and work together. Okay, as I did this brief discussion, you can see how they're all locked together. And these 3 tasks are key secrets to mastering and becoming a happy teacher. You know, so you want to find out more specifics and other good ideas about teaching and that can work? I tell you, they work. Okay, you need to subscribe. You need to hit the like button and you need to come back and visit this channel. But make sure that you go ahead and subscribe so you can get notifications to receive information every time I include another video topic. And I'll be doing these at least once a week, especially here in the very beginning of the school year. And I've already got topics and stuff from requests from people already. So otherwise, you have a great day. This is the School Year E for me. I am Dr. Jordan Smith, and I'm with the Do Not Quit Teaching channel. I want you to stay and become a teacher. Give that 20 years in. Yeah, do that 20 years. Do your good time. Go ahead and pay it back. Pay it forward. I'm a 20-year veteran, Dr. Jordan Smith. I'm soon to be a 20-year veteran as a teacher. You enjoy your school year. Become a happy teacher. See ya on the other side.